Hello everyone, back to today's first video, doing weekend forecast for today's first video. As always on a Saturday, we're having a detailed look at the weather for the week ahead. Later on today, we'll have the CFS 6 months look ahead. That's just for fun. It's going to take us from next month, from November, and we go right way through to April with that one, April 2018. Can you believe? But remember, that is very much in the realm of just being a bit of a laugh, really. The first month or two has some scientific merit, but beyond that, not really. Anyway, I'll talk about that more and the rest of the updates coming up at the website at the end, this weekend, at the end of the video. But it's all starting off with the weekend forecast, so we're going to have a look at the charts from weatheroutlook.com and westcentre.de, see what the weather's going to be doing for the week ahead. Of course, there's a written version as well. You can get that from the buttons at the top of the page. Remember, you can find the links to these websites on the links page. So we begin with the radar picture, and you can quite clearly see Storm Brian just leaving the coast of Ireland there, the east coast of Ireland, heading into the Irish Sea. Brought some very strong winds across England and Wales this morning, gusts up to around 30-40 miles an hour inland, but around the coast it's been windier than that. We have had gusts reaching 70 miles an hour around some of those southern and western coasts through the course of this morning. This is going to continue through the course of this afternoon. Now you notice there's lots of heavy rain out in the west, showers banding together to form longer spells of rain. Eastern areas, Scotland, eastern England, generally it's been dry through the morning, but these showers will be closing in, I think, from the west through the course of this afternoon. So here's today's very autumnal looking synoptic weather chart. So that's Storm Brian, of course, the area of low pressure. The strongest winds on the southern side of that area of low pressure, particularly affecting Ireland, England and Wales. So through the course of the afternoon, I think keep a reasonable amount of dry weather going for Scotland. There will be a few showers up there, but going further south we find those bands of heavy showers or longer spells of rain in the west, and they'll be pushing eastwards through the course of this afternoon, getting in towards parts of Wales, the Midlands, central, southern, southeastern England perhaps by the end of the afternoon. Always the driest and brightest weather will be on the eastern side, with most of the rain tending to be in the west. We have got tightly packed isobars here through Ireland, Wales and England, so it can be windy this afternoon. Gusts going up to around 50 miles an hour, particularly in that squally rain. And around coastal areas exposed to that wind, gusts could reach 70 miles an hour, which is strong enough to be causing damage. Through the course of tonight, Storm Brian begins to move off in towards the North Sea. Stays pretty windy, really, particularly through parts of northern England, Wales and the North Midlands. We could have further gale force gusts there. Elsewhere, winds probably tending to moderate slightly, but it's going to stay quite windy through the course of the night. And we'll keep further showery bursts of rain going, particularly in western parts of the country. Northern and eastern areas tend to get the driest weather overnight tonight. No problems with temperatures, too much wind around for that. Temperatures holding up between around, say, 8 and 12 degrees. Into Sunday, and low pressure, which was Storm Brian, is weakening rapidly as it moves in towards the North Sea. We start to build in this little ridge from the west. Most of the showers will be on the eastern side through the course of Monday morning, where again they could be merging into longer spells of rain. Still quite windy in the east through the course of the morning, but drier, brighter conditions will be moving into west. So most drier and brighter conditions will spread across the whole country through the course of Sunday afternoon. So we probably end the day on a reasonably dry and fine note, with a fair amount of brightness and a few sunny spells coming through as well. It'll be a cooler day tomorrow, temperatures ranging from around 8 to 13 degrees Celsius. So feeling quite autumnal and becoming quite cold for a time on Sunday evening. Might even be little touches of ground frost early in the night across the northeastern parts of the country, but then later on in the night, this next area of low pressure will spread its cloud and showery bursts of rain in the Atlantic. Temperatures will start to lift up. That takes us into Monday, when we're going to start Monday with quite a lot of cloud, showery bursts of rain pushing northwards and eastwards across the country. It'll be a dull, damp morning. Most of the rain will die out, I think, through the course of Monday afternoon. But we probably keep a lot of cloud and drizzly bits and pieces of rain going through much of the day. Maybe a few brighter skies coming through in the west by evening. But I suspect a fair amount of cloud continues through the course of Monday. And temperatures will be lifting up again. This is warmer air starting to be dragged back up from the middle part of the Atlantic Ocean with this weather system. So temperatures will probably be reaching around 17 degrees in the southeast by Monday afternoon. That's around 63 Fahrenheit. Into Tuesday, we've got a weather front sort of strung out and pepping up a bit across the central swathe of the country. So, a bit of a three-way split, really, for Tuesday. A large part of Scotland is going to be dry with sunny spells and quite cool to the northern side of this weather front. Then we go down into Northern Ireland, into northern England, possibly southwest Scotland, also into northern western parts of Wales, where I think we'll have a lot of cloud and there'll be outbreaks of rain coming and going. Most of the rain will be showery in nature, but there could be a few heavier bursts mixed in. And then further south of that, on the southern side of the weather front, we go down in towards the Midlands, central southern, southeastern England. And here we have a reasonable amount of dry weather, and quite warm air is starting to try and push up out of France once again. Fair amount of cloud, but a few brighter sunny spells coming through in the southeast. Could see temperatures reaching around 18 or 19 degrees on Tuesday afternoon. Very warm, really, for late October. In the north, that would be a lot cooler. Northern Scotland, just 10 degrees there on the northern side of that weather front. Moving through to the middle part of the week, so high pressure is increasingly dominant across Central Europe. Winds are pushing up from the south once again. So I reckon by Wednesday, there's a decent amount of dry weather. Might still be a few cloud showery bursts across parts of northern England. They could drift northwards in towards Scotland, perhaps, as this drier, warmer air starts to push back up from France. Winds are turning into the south, so temperatures might be reaching around 19 degrees in sunny spells across parts of southern, southeastern England on Wednesday afternoon. That's 66 Fahrenheit. Will be cooler in the north. Temperatures across Scotland generally around 12 or 13. So they do lift up a bit, those temperatures in the north, but the real warmth is down in the south midweek. Getting to Thursday, and high pressure is just dominating the weather across the country, so loads of dry and fine conditions. We may have to think a bit about some dense patches of mist and fog. Always a bit risky forecasting mist and fog now in this country. We don't seem to get as much fog as we used to a few years ago. So whether we do get mist and fog patches coming along under this area of high pressure later in the week is open to question, but the risk will there, because it's quite a warm air mass, quite a moist air mass as well. So if skies do clear, there will be a risk of mist and fog, I would have thought, in the second half of the week. Some of that might linger well on into the day. But otherwise, on Thursday, perhaps after mist and fog and low cloud to begin, we should see sunny spells breaking through, and temperatures will be warm. Wouldn't rule out reaching 20 degrees, somewhere like central London on Thursday afternoon. That's a very warm 68 Fahrenheit. More typically, probably around 15, 16 or 17 degrees. Now we move through to the end of the week and the weekend, and we start to get quite a lot of uncertainty coming through. The latest ideas from the models are beginning to shift this area of high pressure out towards our west, which may start to invade some cooler air down into the north by Friday. So Scotland could have a band of cloud and showers drifting southwards and turning much cooler, temperatures dropping to just around 9 or 10 degrees. Elsewhere, a lot of dry weather with sunny spells after, again, perhaps early dense mist and fog patches. Still quite warm in the south. Temperatures may be still reaching around 18 degrees Celsius. But by next weekend, we find this area of high pressure increasingly moving out to west. This is Saturday. The winds are turning into the north. And by Sunday, we have high pressure to our west, low pressure to our east. And those winds are pushing down from a northerly direction. So this brings, if it comes off, and there is uncertainty about this, but if it comes off, it brings a very significant change next weekend. As much, let's say, colder air pushes southwards. Could be some showers in the north. They might even be a little bit wintry across the northern eastern parts of Scotland. And the main thing will be a substantial drop in temperature. So we could be looking at temperatures in the north not getting out of single figures by the end of next weekend. In the south, probably only around 10, 11, 12 degrees. And there will be a risk, if this comes off, of night frost as well. A real change next weekend compared to sort of the latter part of the coming week. But do bear in mind, there is uncertainty about this. Now, if I run you on a little bit beyond the week ahead, I shouldn't really do this in the week ahead forecast, but I will run you on a little bit beyond the week ahead, and this takes us into the 31st of October, Halloween, where you see winds are still coming from a northerly direction. Notice pressures rising around Greenland. And as we go into the start of November, look what happens. We set up a real blocking feature around Greenland. We have low pressure developing around the UK and to our east, and very much colder air is pushing down from the north. And as we go up towards bonfire night, actually this particular run off the GFS is keeping things cold, it's keeping things in from the north. So that's a cold start to November, and would you believe we might be looking at some snow showers and possibly even sort of significant night frost there by the time we get through to bonfire night for northern parts of the country. Anyway, really big changes. But again, I do have to emphasise just how much uncertainty there is starting as early as around Thursday and Friday. I really shouldn't have run you through those charts beyond the week ahead. I'll be getting myself into trouble. So coming back to the week ahead, finally, this is how the weather outlook is seeing things on a day-by-day basis in your area. So for Saturday, today, it's a windy day. There's showers along with spells of rain, particularly in the north and west. The east gets the driest of the weather. Moving through to Sunday, more in way of dry conditions, although it will be a little bit cooler. Monday has cloud and showery bursts of rain across the country, but temperatures are warming up. And then really from Tuesday onwards, we get this band of rain setting up across central parts of the country. To the south, it's dry and warm. To the north, it's drier and quite chilly. By Wednesday, all places are dry and it's turning much warmer as well. And then that takes us into the second half of the week on a dry and, particularly for the south, warm note. Remember, by Friday, we might be starting to bring some colder air into the north. There is a lot of uncertainty about that. So in summary, we're starting off on a stormy note with Storm Brian. That's going to take us through the rest of the weekend on quite an unsettled note. But next week, high pressure will be building strongly, so it's going to turn drier through the course of next week. And for a time, could get very warm again down in the south as the winds push up from the south. We might see temperatures reaching 20 degrees in the southeast somewhere around Wednesday or Thursday. Watch out just for the chance, it's no more than that at this stage, the chance or the risk of some significantly cooler or even colder weather developing by the end of next weekend, may be taking us into a cold start to November. We'll keep you posted on that, of course. Right, later on today, it's CFX 6 Months Look Ahead, just for fun. Tomorrow, we've got the 7th Winter 2017-18 update. That's going to be really, really interesting. Amongst all the other things that we always look at, we've got analogues coming up in that 7th winter update, which will be looking at wet Septembers, unsettled Septembers. And they're going to be very, very, very interesting, I can tell you that. And then rest of tomorrow, more updates will be along. We'll have our interpretation of the ECMWF seasonal model for the winter, and also we'll have a third written update for Christmas as well. So it's all going to be happening at the website, so keep checking back for more. But that's all for now, and thanks for watching.